The summer's not quite started yet, but the excitement's starting to build around this rebuild, I suppose, that Erik Ten Hag is going to do at Manchester United. But it's not all about the Declan Rices and the Christopher and Nkunkus and the big money signings this summer, is it? It's a summer where United have to get smart. And I don't think we've been that smart in the transfer window for a long, long time. So in this video, I'm going to run through 8 potential smart signings that I think United could be looking at making this summer. 4 maybe for the first team right now, 4 maybe with a nod towards the future, because United have got to make sure that we just change our club's recruitment policy. We nail it and we get it right, and that has to start this summer. So let me run through these 8 names. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to United People's TV if you're new in town. Why not? Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well. Let's get into this video and let's talk about these 8 players. And first on this list, there's a couple from RB Leipzig, but Mohamed Simakan. Now, he is a centre-back. He's a ball-playing centre-back. He's got in the region of 16.2 million down there as a valuation. Now, I imagine it'll be a little bit more. But the reason Simakan's on this list, he's had a breakthrough season with Leipzig this year in the Bundesliga. And if you take a look at his stat man, he's a centre-back. He's a centre-back first and foremost. He's been an integral part of their season so far. But if you take a look at his stats, you can see where his strengths do lie, man. Like, in terms of his pressures, his tackles, top 5% in terms of dribbles completed. He's good at bringing the ball out. And with Simakan is one of those players where maybe Nkunku would have been a year or 2 ago. You know, the player that's just broke into the Leipzig team. What we really need to do is get players like Simakan before they go to RB Leipzig. And that's hopefully what we'll do. That's why I'm naming 4 teenagers towards the end. And what I would say quickly is a big shout out to George for helping with the research for this video. Big up to you, George. But the second name on this list, now this is definitely going to be a name that I think a lot of teams go for, and that's Brennan Johnson. This year in the Championship, he's been outstanding. He won the EFL Young Player of the Year award, 18 goals and 9 assists in 50 appearances, obviously in the playoffs the whole way through to the final. And if Nottingham Forest manage to win promotion, maybe there's a bigger chance that he's going to stay there. If they don't, United should be all over him. 20-year-old, very, very versatile winger. If we take a look at here, you're not really going to get a more versatile this in terms of his positions he's played in his career. Literally all over the shop, everywhere. And at 20, he's got a long, long career ahead of him. And I think he's one of those talents. We take a look and see who's interested in signing him at the moment. Brentford are trying to get a leg up and trying to get in there quick. Maybe you might look at Brennan Johnson and say, Sam, hold on. How Brennan Johnson really going to come in and sort of improve our first team? Oh, mate, we need versatile forwards. Absolutely need versatile forwards. Now, Transfer Market, I've got his price down there. I think that's probably a little bit under what it would be, 13.5 million. I think there'll be a little bit of a premium on that. But Brennan Johnson is definitely one name I think United should be looking at in terms of that versatile forward position and for a great price too. And another player who currently plays at Nottingham Forest, that's Jed Spence. Now, this is not the first time you would have heard Jed Spence's name. He's 21, and he has had a fine season of progress at Nottingham Forest. And I suppose the thing about Jed Spence when it comes to United is this. He's already spoken about United previously. I mean, United we think we need a right back, right? We take a look at how he's played this season. He's very much on the right-hand side. He's more like a wing back or a right back. It's a little bit of both. He's got that versatility, and he's certainly got that progressive ability to bring the ball forward. And I'll tell you what, we're desperately missing that. We are desperately missing that. And Jed Spence, maybe he's not somebody who's going to come in immediately. Actually, no, I think he probably would. Looking at our right-back options, is he going to get in ahead of Delo? Yeah, he probably is. Is he going to get ahead of Wan-Bissaka? He's probably going to get sold. Who else we got? Brandon Williams, he might be sold. Ethan Laird, we don't know whether he's going to come into the first team situation or not. Jed Spence, in terms of value, no, it's definitely going to be more than 7 million. I believe his contract because he's on loan from Middlesbrough to Nottingham Forest. It would definitely command more than 7 million, but again, had a very, very good season of progression in the Championship. Both of those players with Forest, definitely ones to look out for and who goes after them this summer. And going back to Leipzig, I've already mentioned his name before. This would really be a smart signing because United could get Mukiele for relatively cheap for the quality he is. At 24, he's established. We take a look at his positions. We know that he's got that versatility to his game. He plays as a right back and a wing back. He's played centre back plenty of times as well. Mukiele, if you take a look at his stats, he's a very decent defender. He's been in and out of the Leipzig team. I wouldn't say he's become like an absolute centerpiece for their team. He's since they've switched their manager. Did they switch their manager? I don't know if they switched their manager. I might have just made that up completely. But Mukiele, because his contract is expiring next year, this is the last summer where RB Leipzig can come in and get some money for him. So I think United could poach him for a cut price deal that would bring someone that's got centre-back and right-back versatility, which we do need. Now, of course, that may well be Yuri and Timber. And maybe we don't need someone like him. But if we're looking at smart signings, we have to look around. Our budget's not limitless this summer. Well, it never really is. But United have to get there and get these smart signings done. Now, what I'm going to do now is run through a few teenagers that George has researched and taken a look at. Because we can talk about Mohamed Simakan, we can talk about Nordi Mukiele, these great talents that Leipzig have signed. It's like, we need to get there first. We need to get these players into Manchester United before they go to these clubs. And that's why these 4 names are on the list. And first on the list is Roko Simic. Already said his name wrong. He's been on loan at second-tier Austrian club Lefering this season from RB Salzburg. And of course, he's getting compared to Haaland. I mean, naturally. So it's a bit lazy, but people do it. 17 goals and 3 assists in 23 league appearances and 7 goals and 3 assists in 9 games in the UEFA Youth League. Big, powerful, strong striker. 18, turning 19 in September. Clearly got a huge amount to develop, but he's raw and some serious potential there. And if we're looking at Manchester United's youth setup, we've got Charlie McNeil, the ferocious goal scorer we signed from City. Wait, Simic could come in there. Hell yeah. Why not? It's about identifying the best talented teenagers as well as, because it's not just about planning for this season, it's about planning for the seasons to come. And to be fair, our youth recruitment has dramatically improved over the last few years, but these are just a few more names to throw into the hat. Like Lucas Gorna-Duath. I'm probably just completely annihilated his name. But he is a defensive midfielder, 18 years old, from St. Etienne. Now, he was, I think it was like 45th or something like that in the next gen list. He is a defensive midfielder. This is the only defensive midfielder I've actually got on the list. We take a look at his heat map. He's somebody who's played just a little bit towards the left-hand side. But again, this French crop, I don't know what they've been eating in France over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, but they are pumping out top raw, top quality players and a lot of incredible midfielders. And maybe the next one could be Lucas Gorna-Duath. If we're looking at players that we signed from France, did we get Hannibal from France? I think we got Hannibal from France. I remember we signed Willy Cambuala from, was that St. Etienne? It may have been, I can't remember. But no, actually no, it might have been PSG. Can't remember. I think he was on loan to PSG. Trying to do things whilst I'm talking here. But that's the second name on the list. We've got a defensive midfielder there and we've got a striker. Now maybe if Erik Ten Hag wants to pick up the phone, maybe he could call Ajax and say, look, why don't we bring Nasser Unava in from the Ajax youth team? He has been scoring goals left, right and centre. In 33 games this season, he's got 16 goals and 12 assists. Third most assists in the league and nearly in the top 30 on the next-gen list. Youngest ever player to score on his Ajax debut, and I'm very, very good at reading out stats, aren't I? Thank you very much, then. We go and we take a look at where he's played. He is a pure out-and-out left winger. 94 appearances so far in his career. Only 1 on the right. More as an attacking midfielder. Well, there you go. His heat map shows that completely. But Nasser Unava, if you Ajax have got an incredible history, and they will always have that history of bringing through great young players. And he's another one that's coming through that system right now who definitely looks like one to watch. Would Ajax sell someone like him to Manchester United at such a young age? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not too sure on that, but it's another name on the list. And the final name on the list here is Brian Oko, who is a centre-back. Again, he spent a little bit of time on loan at Lefering, the same club that, what was his name? Is it Roko Simic? It was Roko. That he spent on loan there, but he again plays for RB Salzburg. 19 years old, centre-back. And if you look at what sort of makes him stand out at this point in his career, very physical, battles well, very good on the ball. And there's a certain type of profile and a certain type of player that Manchester United quite simply have to be going after from now on. All of our defenders have to be capable of playing football. I'm not, it's a bit of a weird thing to say, but possession-based football, confident with the ball at their feet, good at playing out from the back with the ball. We need to be good at that. Brian Oko's got that in his locker. But yeah, these are just 8 players that I wanted to take a look at. We'll run through the list here again. We've got Mohamed Simakan here. We've got Brennan Johnson. We've got Jed Spence. We've got Nordi Mukiele. We've got Roko Simic. We've got Lucas Gorna-Duath, Nasser Unava, and Brian Oko. 4 players that we could look at and say, right, they might be able to come straight into our first team there. And 4 players that we can look at and say, Maybe they're nods towards the future. Maybe United can start turning into an RB Leipzig or a Borussia Dortmund, where not only, actually no, better than that, we can not only sign top level players, but also I really identify the players that in 2 years' time can be top level players. And that's why we need to look at youngsters. I mean, they're all decent signings. You can let me know what you think about that in the comments. Are there any other smart signings? Now, you might mention someone like Skamaka, who we could have definitely put in this list. The list could be exhaustive, really, because there'll be a ton of smart signings United could do. We've just chosen 8 here for you. You let me know what you think about that in the comments below. What other signings could United make this summer that maybe sort of no one's really talking about? But if we did that and we did make that signing, it could make a world of difference to our team. You let me know in the comments. Make sure you drop a like on the video. I can't wait for the summer to really, really, really properly get started now. And United to sign some players.